How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Now, I wanted to touch base on a topic that I was just listening to about a potential Scrum referee. It's something I heard on Rassie Erasmus's podcast, Rassie Plus. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It is absolutely brilliant. And I wanted to touch base. I want to hear what you guys have to think on this. So please, before I continue, like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And a lot of people that do watch my channel are not subscribed. So if you are enjoying the content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Now, I wanted to talk about this whole thing about a potential Scrum ref because Rassie Erasmus, he really he puts it into perspective. And he had Stephen Kitsoff, who he's now retired, an amazing player and one of the best scrummagers around. They talk and they touch base on this, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And I understand Rassie's way of thinking because you look at referees in general. They need to know a lot about the game, but a vast majority of them are not actually trained in relation to scrums. A lot of the props and a lot of the people within the scrum have a far better knowledge of the workings of it, the ins, the outs, so we saw in the past, Kitsoff, he's actually contested a lot of decisions in the past with referees and won. Why? Because he has a far better knowledge of the scrums in detail than what the refs do. So Rassie raised the point in saying, could we potentially have a scrum ref come in when it's time for the scrum? You have a ref, whether it's a potential linesman or whatever it is, to come in during the scrums to ref it properly. Because being a part of the scrum and understanding a scrum is a whole job on its own, right? So to have something dedicated, to have something specific for this, I think it would help the game, but there's a lot of back and forth in relation to this. This is why I wanted to hear what your guys' thoughts are in relation to it, because I think it's a pretty good idea. Whether it's going to be implemented or not is a different story. But if you haven't watched Rassie's podcast with Kitsoff, I definitely would say give it a watch. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, because I think it could actually, I think if it would be trialed, we could actually see some pretty good results from it. You could get old, experienced scrummagers that know scrums in and out. Like it's the back of the hand, and there are a lot of elite top level scrummagers around there. It would also open up an additional job within the game, and we would get a better breakdown of the scrum, right? I feel it would be run better. We would have less fouls. We would have less time wasted on scrums, and we would have better decisions. So I don't know. I wanted to hear what you think, because I don't know what to think about it myself. On one hand, I think, look, this could be a brilliant idea on it. This is something that could be potentially implemented and we could see great results. But at the same time, I feel it's a lot of effort. There's going to be a lot of money involved in it, in terms of training people, in terms of implementing it, how they're going to implement it, when are they going to implement it. There's a lot that goes on, and then it's going to go through all the trials, is going to go through, you know, all the different phases to it actually becoming a part of the game. So could we be seeing it, and are we ever going to see it? If it is taken, it would probably only be a couple of years until we actually start seeing results from it. So this is this is why I wanted to open up this conversation, because I think it's a brilliant idea. What do you guys think? All right. Could we see it actually benefit the game, or would it make it more complicated and become more unnecessary than what the game needs to be? Because everybody and any rugby fans like to see beautiful, free-flowing rugby that keep things going, as little stops as possible, and have that raw entertainment factor. So whether it would break it down, it would become too detailed, it would slow things down, there'd be too much switching and back and forth. I don't know, but I do feel it's something that needs to be looked at, because I think it would avoid a lot of issues, a lot of errors in terms of decision making. And I think we would have a far better understanding of scrummages or scrums in general. So guys, please, I wanted to keep this video relatively short. I want to hear what you guys think in relation to this. Pop it in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.